Have you ever walked into a room and noticed an immediate shift in the atmosphere? People suddenly lower their voices. Someone quickly avoids eye contact or starts explaining themselves, even though you never asked. This shift occurs without a single word of demand. It is the result of a presence built on stillness rather than social performance. To understand why this happens, we have to look at how the human brain processes social interaction. The brain acts as a behavioral prediction engine, constantly anticipating familiar scripts to keep us comfortable. This diagram represents that expected social loop. When you refuse to follow the usual script, when you skip the small talk, or hold a pause slightly too long, that prediction system breaks down, creating a spike of cognitive uncertainty. Your brain is biologically wired to pay attention to uncertainty. Let's look at 13 specific behavioral triggers that disrupt these social patterns and why your quiet presence can command a room long after you leave. Most conversations rely on pleasantries. How's work? Nice weather. These rituals make people feel safe. When you bypass them entirely and remain perfectly comfortable in silence, it strips away that safety net. People immediately start trying to figure out what you are actually thinking. The same discomfort applies to eye contact. Most people glance away after a few seconds because sustained focus triggers vulnerability. When you hold your gaze calmly and stay completely present, you force the person opposite you to drop their rehearsed social mask. Listen to how quickly people speak when they are nervous. Fast speech signals a rush to prove value. By pausing before you respond and delivering your words deliberately, you signal a complete lack of urgency to prove yourself to anyone. You also see this in how people seek validation, laughing at jokes early or apologizing unnecessarily. When you stop freely offering these eager responses, your attention becomes a scarce psychological resource, increasing its value. Because you aren't distracted by managing your own performance, you catch what others miss: a forced smile, a delayed response, a shift in tone. By removing the predictable padding of everyday chatter, you struck away the conversational filler. You leave people with a raw, unfiltered interaction that demands they be fully present. In social settings, people often influence each other using emotional levers: heavy praise, sharp criticism, or guilt. When you stay emotionally grounded, letting compliments pass without inflating your ego, and criticism bounce off without defining you, those levers break. Weak boundaries usually come with lengthy apologies and over-explanations. The architecture of a strong boundary is incredibly simple. A calm, respectful no, delivered without an ounce of guilt, instantly signals that your limits are not open for negotiation. This stability becomes highly visible during group conflict. Emotions spread rapidly from person to person, like a chain reaction. But when you observe the drama without contributing to it, your calmness actively interrupts that contagion. Your daily actions act as a silent mirror. Building healthy habits with quiet, consistent discipline removes the space for excuses. It silently reminds the people watching of the promises they have made to themselves and failed to keep. Your emotional control entirely removes the leverage manipulators rely on. You elevate your status from an active participant in their games to a detached observer. This visual shows the pressure of that calm observation. As you remain steady, the people around you feel observed. They begin justifying mundane choices and adding unnecessary details to their stories, trying to fill the quiet space you created. They notice that your behavior stays remarkably consistent. Most people adjust their personalities to match whoever is watching: their boss, their friends, their family. You don't. This unwavering authenticity almost always creates a polarized reaction. Some immediately respect it. Others project their own insecurities onto you because your willingness to be yourself challenges everyone in the room who is still relying on a performance. Maintaining a fixed identity shifts the social gravity. The room often adjusts to your consistency. A commanding presence has a lasting half-life in the minds of others. It occupies mental real estate, remaining vivid hours or even days after you've left the room. This animation shows an open cognitive loop. Because your behavior didn't fit their predictable expectations, their brain naturally revisits the experience, trying to categorize an interaction it couldn't immediately explain. The famous psychologist Carl Jung said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." Most people spend their lives building layers designed to earn approval. Removing those layers requires significant courage. But when you finally do, you realize that true presence doesn't require aggression or volume. It relies entirely on being genuinely comfortable with yourself. Unforgettable people rarely chase attention. Because of their authenticity, they naturally attract it. If you want more psychology and life-changing insights backed by powerful ideas, subscribe to Brain Library. We'll see you in the next video.